Welcome back to another Tune In Trojans broadcast. It is homecoming week here at Dakota State University, and athletics is as busy as ever. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of talking with the football team, the volleyball team, and the esports team, updating about all the things going on during homecoming week and prior to homecoming week as well. So let's get right into all of the action. Hey, Trojan fans, I am joined by head esports coach Andy Roland. The Trojans esports team has been quite busy these past few weeks competing in their CCL conference. Coach, would you mind recapping all of the matches that happened this past weekend?
Absolutely. So we're 2 weeks into competition right now with League of Legends, Valorant, and Rocket League, and we'll start with Valorant, who's opened up the season really well. We played USD in our first match of the season, and that was a recap of last split's championship game. Unfortunately, we took second then, but we're looking at this season as though this is it. This semester and next semester is going to be really something to watch for our Valorant guys. We've looked across the league, even at USD in our week one, and we're hard pressed to find anyone who can really put up a good fight against us. So we're feeling really confident. We're feeling really strong in Valorant right now. We took a 2-0 win over the defending champs in week one. So we've got a lot to look at. We've got some really great seniors on that team who've been working with a couple other guys for a couple of years now. Some really great leaders. It's if there's ever a time to watch our Valorant guys, it's now. It's this season because we're going to make some great things happen with Valorant. Our Rocket League scene is still developing a little bit. We Rocket League is fairly new to the Collegiate Champions League, to CCL. So, we as Dakota State University are still sort of developing our pieces and getting that team to where it needs to be. And we really feel like we found that missing piece this semester. We've got a freshman, Nuko came in with Def Moss and Painted Harp, who've been with us for a couple of years, and those guys have great chemistry. So bringing in that missing puzzle piece, I think we're really going to start clicking. Um, with that being said, we're still fairly new. We're still developing a little bit. Our week one match against UND was so close. Was so heartbreaking for me to watch because we play a best of five in Rocket League, and we went all five matches. We were fighting back and forth the whole series. It came down to the very last second of the very last game that we ended up losing, and I as a coach, I think I am as happy as I can be on a loss. Um, these guys are showing a lot of grit. They're showing a lot of talent. They're having fun out there. They're mending really well for a team that's really starting to come into their fit and get the season going. So they can take a lot from that first game that they played in the season and run with it. Their second game of the season was also really tough. It was a very hard fought match. I think it's going all five games is something that I think a coach, someone in my position, would want. I think, especially out of a team that's developing, I want these guys to be in those certain situations that are tough. In the second game, we took a 2-0 lead right out of the gate. And then the third game we dropped, and it was a lot closer than the fourth game we dropped. So we're 2-2 in a series of five right now. And at that point, I think one of the hardest things to do in sports is to try to turn the tide, is to try to get the momentum back on your favor. So going into that fifth match was tough because the momentum was not on our side. And we gave it our all, but I think again I'm as happy as I can be as a coach on a loss. That is a situation that I want my guys to feel comfortable in and to know and be better for it moving throughout the season. So we're 0-2 right now in Rocket League, but that doesn't say much for our performance because these guys are really out there battling and they're giving it their all. League of Legends is having a tough time right now. We graduated our best player last semester. John was an absolutely amazing. He was the league's best AD carry, for 2 to 3 years, and so we graduated him, and that was a big hit. But we've got some new guys on this team that are being coached up and getting the feel for being on a team for the first time right now. And we've got two really great veterans, one in the mid lane and one in the bottom. Bruja has been a pillar for League of Legends since esports has existed at DSU. So Caden is an amazing player, an amazing coach, and he's done a really good job of pulling that team together. We've got a Slayer in the mid lane. Cobain is someone to be feared on the Rift. So we've got good pieces. It's the new pieces that we're looking to develop a little bit more. It's our jungle that I really want to see come into his own. It's our top lane that I really want them to feel strong. It's our AD carry that I want them to find their grooves. So, we the beginning of the season for league doesn't look great right now, but I have high hopes towards the end of the season. I think we'll definitely come out with a positive record, given some of the other teams in our league. But the competition for league this semester and even this year is going to be tough. We'll be fighting for probably a third or fourth place spot because there are two teams out there right now that are going to go neck and neck for the title. So I think UNL and Iowa are going to be really some of the harder competition for League of Legends right now. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out. We've played against some really good teams in league, and we've held our own up to the point where up to that tipping point. The more comfortable we feel, the further back we can push that tipping point. So I look forward to seeing them develop a little bit more. The CCL season has a lot to offer, so I can't wait for more matches to roll through and to see how we do.
For sure, for sure. And just to take a moment to kind of go back and talk about the Rocket League team, because
Yeah,
as you said, it has been an intense last 2 weeks for that team. They've gone to the fifth game in a series both weeks, I believe.
yeah, yeah,
And it's just been so close. So what are some things coaching wise do you focus on to try to help with the process of getting this team to win a series and come out
yeah,
on top?
yeah. A lot of it is mentality. For Nuko, he's never been in this position before. He's never been on a team like this before. He's probably hasn't taken the game as seriously as we do. So I think being in that position, understanding the feel of it, of knowing that this is it, it's all or nothing right now. They're going to grow from that. They're going to learn from that. They're going to know what that feeling is, and they're going to continue to build with it. But as anybody knows in sports, when you go all 5 games, you know, when you go the distance, it's no longer a physical thing; it's a mental thing. You've got to stay headstrong. You've got to stay focused. You've got to rely on your teammates to help you pull through. And I strongly believe that these guys are good enough to rise to that challenge. They're really good friends. They click. They make plays without even talking. These guys they're really solid, and I believe getting them the experience that just the experience in these first 2 games alone, I think, is tremendous. And as the season progresses, I think they will continue to pick up a head of steam moving into postseason. So it that edge really we rely a lot on. Um, what do you call it? Experience. We need more experience on this team to get us over that little hill. We've been battling with the best teams in the league and coming up just short. And like I said, I think that's happy as I can be on a loss is being right there and understanding that the next time we're there, we'll have an edge.
For sure, for sure. Well, thanks so much again, Coach, for coming in today and giving us a really good update and insight as to how these teams are competing in CCL. You guys have some matchups again coming up this next week, and we'll be excited to see how your teams are going to be competing in those matches.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. This is always fun.
For sure. Have a good one.
Yep. Go Trojans.
Hey, Trojan fans, I am joined by head volleyball coach Amy Veenhof. The Trojans had 2 matchups last week against Bellevue and Morningside University, but the Trojans are going to continue their home string of matchups with this week going up against Presentation College tomorrow, September 21st, and following up on Thursday, September 22nd against Mayville State University as well. Covering these past matches, Coach, what were some specific differences between Bellevue and Morningside?
Yeah, Bellevue is a really tough team. They're ranked, I think they're 14th or 15th right now, and preseason wise, they were picked to finish first in our conference and even be ahead of Viterbo. So they're solid. They are a very very good team. They have a amazing setter that's back playing her fifth year, and then an outside hitter that is also a fifth year that came back for her COVID year. And those two alone are amazing. They're really good, all American players. And it's, yeah, that's Bellevue is a very very good team. And to start off with them at home, you don't want to get that draw, but we did, and we usually compete really, really well with Bellevue. The second and third set, after I think maybe some of our nerves got out of us, we played okay, we played better, and did some good things. And but yeah, Bellevue's they're a good team. They do it all. They're strong all the way across the net. They spread the ball really well offensively, and they have a lot of hitters that can get it done and get kills for them. So that makes them really really tough. And then Morningside, the next night, yeah, we showed up to play right away, and that was one of the things that we talked about after the loss to Bellevue, is we started off a little shaky in that first set, and just it took us a little bit to kind of get comfortable and get going. So we talked about that, and I thought the girls responded well then the next night and started out much stronger against Morningside and had more energy and were more focused during warm-ups to make sure that they were ready to go right away in that first set. And then, offensively, Bellevue is a much stronger defensive team too than Morningside, and so offensively we were able to get some more kills because defensively Morningside isn't as big of a block, and they weren't picking up as many balls as Bellevue does. I mean, Bellevue's a really nice team, so I don't want to take anything away from them. They're good, and Morningside too. They play in the GPAC, which is a really competitive conference, so they are used to playing against really good teams. They struggled a bit offensively. Morningside did, and I thought we just did a much better job of coming out and being ready to go right away. And offensively, we were swinging and we were hitting the ball pretty hard, and defensively, we were getting lots of good touches, and Peyton did a fantastic job liberoing both nights, actually against Bellevue and Morningside. She picked up a lot of balls, so she did a good job defensively. But just as a team, things clicked a little bit better on Thursday night last week than they did on Wednesday.
For sure. And now to kind of go on to a flip side, because you guys have two great homecoming matches, which apparently don't happen very often. When we were talking right before the interview, going up now against Presentation and Mayville State, what is kind of the history playing against these two teams, and what is kind of your outlook for these
Sure.
two matches this week?
Um, you know, it can be a big battle between Presentation. I because we have so many players that are from the Aberdeen area, which is close to Presentation, and there's a lot of the players know each other, and so there's a good little rivalry because of that. We usually have a really really good crowd when we play at Presentation, again because we have a lot of kids from up in that area, and so that makes it a little bit more fun. And then just with them being the other South Dakota school in our conference, there's that too that makes it a little bit bigger of a rival. And it's usually very competitive. You just with volleyball, it's kind of hit and miss. You can struggle to have everybody on the same page. And, it takes more than just one player playing well to get a win. And so everybody just needs to to play well together. And when we do all play well together, then we're a pretty good team. And so, hopefully we remember everybody can just show up and play well. And then Mayville too, very competitive. They're usually PC and Mayville are kind of usually the teams that are right behind us in the conference standings. So you just never know. It can be back and forth. Mayville has had some really good wins this year. They've played some really tough matches as well. So um, they have back one of their really good players from last year that sets and hits for them. And so being able to, kind of do a good job defending her is going to be a big part of if we're successful or not with Mayville. We kind of know what we need to do. So yeah, just fun that we're at home, like you said, Maddie, for homecoming because it doesn't always happen. We were talking earlier, and last year, yeah, we went through the parade on the People Mover, and right when we got done, we headed up to Mayville because that's where we played Saturday night last year during homecoming. So yeah, it's really really nice that we're home and we have some home matches, and it's during the week, so there's, hopefully we can get a lot of people to our matches and then we're here to, help cheer on the football team to victory on Saturday, which will be fun.
For sure. And just to kind of keep the homecoming conversation rolling,
Yeah.
we know that you guys are so excited to be back, and we're excited to have you guys back this week as well. What are some things that the volleyball team will be participating kind of off the court this week for
Sure.
homecoming?
Well, actually, the volleyball team decorated the president's office. I have not been over there. I don't know what they all did, but I guess they were in charge of decorating the president's office for homecoming. So they did that, and then Gwendolyn, one of our freshmen, she's actually homecoming queen. And she's on the volleyball team. And so, yeah, she was just named queen last night. So that was really exciting that we have the queen on our team. Yeah, we're excited about that. And then just with our matches on Wednesday and Thursday, and then also obviously with Thursday being day of service and giving day, we'll be busy with activities kind of throughout the whole day for that. And then we plan on being in the parade and, tailgating and being at the football game. So we keep pretty busy. It's good to kind of remind the girls, like, let's make sure we take care of business and stay focused on what we're doing and get some wins on Wednesday and Thursday. And then, yes, we can have some fun and enjoy all the activities that go along with homecoming, but we need to take care of business on Wednesday and Thursday and play well.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Coach, for coming in and giving us a great update. It's great to see that the volleyball team is so active during homecoming week, and we're excited to have you guys back for some back-to-back matches this week as well. So we'll be excited to see volleyball players throughout homecoming, kind of in every aspect and corner that we can.
Yep.
So thanks again for coming in, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good, Maddie. Thank you.
Hey, Trojan fans. I am joined by head defense coordinator and linebacker coach Anvil Singsbaugh. The Trojans faced off against Waldorf University this past week, going 42-17. Coach, thinking back to before this game, what was your insight in combating Waldorf with a defensive strategy?
First of all, Waldorf, very, very explosive on offense. They have probably the best quarterback and best playmaker in the conference. So going into it, our focus really for almost every game, but really we were working to stop the run. Um, I wanted to limit kind of what they can do on the ground game to hopefully try to make them one dimensional. And then really our second kind of focus was to do some stunts up front to contain the quarterback, try to keep him in the pocket as best as we could. Because once he kind of freelanced and kind of did his own thing, that's when really Waldorf was really at their best and most explosive. So really going into the game, we were really kind of focused on making sure we had good edges, on stopping the run, and really working to making sure we're containing that quarterback.
For sure. And during that game, Coach, what were some things you were happy to see Trojans defense perform, and what were some challenges that we were faced with?
First off, I thought our guys played hard. They gave 110% effort out there, and that's as a coach, that's the best thing you can ask for is if your guys are playing hard, and so we never have to question if they're giving their best. Uh, Other thing, good. I thought we were tackling pretty well. Made some open field tackles in space. We were getting to the ball and being able to get them down to the ground. We were pretty effective stopping the run, especially in the first half. He held them to about 90 yards. for the game, which is below their average, and so we were able to again kind of limit them and stop their run game. Kind of some of the stresses that we had is again we got let the quarterback get out of the pocket at times. They went to when they went to an empty backfield, so they took their running backs off the field, and so they were really trying to spread us out a little bit more and kind of open up some of the passing lanes. And we did a good job at least communicating kind of what we were doing, but and they made some great plays. And for us, unfortunately, we were in certain spots to try to knock the ball out and wasn't able to get it done. So I mean, kind of credit to them as well. I mean, they made some great catches and had some great plays. And I mean, for us, we just got to do a better job of preparing in a way, but also when the opportunity comes to make the play, we got to be ready to make it.
For sure. And to kind of continue that, it is homecoming week this week. You guys have a big game against Iowa Wesleyan University this Saturday. What are some things, how is practice going this week? And what are some things within that practice you guys are focusing on to prepare for this big upcoming game?
Yep, it's kind of really kind of the same, almost the same opponent we're facing. Iowa Wesleyan again, very explosive on offense. They probably have one of the best receiving cores in the conference, so um, it's going to be a great challenge for us defensively. Again, they have great quarterback and great running backs as well. So practice has been good. I had some walkthroughs yesterday in practices, and guys are focused and really looking to put out a good show on Saturday for homecoming game. Things that we've been kind of focusing on is again creating more havoc as far as creating more turnovers where we're ripping at the ball or finding ways where we can get some interceptions. The other things we kind of been working on this week as well is just our overall communication, going from the DBs down to the linebackers down to the D line, just kind of being able to check what we're doing or just kind of see. I mean, if one guy's noticing one thing, just being able to communicate that down the line. So really just continuing to work. We call it havoc, where we're creating turnovers and then communication. So hopefully we're getting lined up right and we're all on the same page. But things been going good. We're definitely excited. Getting another opportunity, and hopefully, again, we for us. I mean, homecoming is a big opportunity for us just to play for alumni and people coming back, and it's also going to be our senior day as well. So for us to honor our seniors that are on our team, so send them out on a good note. And our goal at home is always to protect Trojan Field, so keep that place safe.
For sure. Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Coach, for coming in, kind of introducing yourself. It's the first time that we've gotten to see you on this show, so it's great to hear from you, get a different perspective from the football team. Thank you as well for giving us this great update. We're excited to see you guys play this Saturday. So, everyone here is going to be wishing your team the best out to protect Trojan Field for sure.
Well, thank you for having me on. This was fun.
Thank you for watching another Tune In Trojans broadcast. With it being homecoming week, we have a lot of events coming up. So let's go over a quick schedule with that. Volleyball will be kicking off on September 21st for our series of homecoming matches against Presentation College. On September 22nd, volleyball will also be coming back to face off against Mayville State University. September 22nd, we will also be having Service Day, where various Trojan teams will be going out into the community and serving the community in any way, shape, or form that they can. That day is also hashtag Rise Up DSU Day of Giving. If you are interested in donating in any way, shape, or form to any organization at Dakota State University, follow the link below. And then on September 24th, this upcoming Saturday, the Trojans will be facing off against Iowa Wesleyan University with a tailgate starting off at 12 p.m. and while the kickoff will be at 4. If you are interested in hearing more about these upcoming events and also staying in focus with all of the upcoming matches, games, or events, you can check out our website at www.dsuathletics.com for more information. And until next time, go Trojans.